issues that are not on our agenda for this evening? Okay. Next item of business is the consent agenda. Okay, a motion has been made to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Do I hear a second? Motion has been made and seconded. All approved? All in favor? Aye. Passes unanimously. And a public hearing. The item number 2 is the Housing Element Update 2008-2014 General Plan Amendment number 2008-03. This was supposed to be presented by the city consultant. Do I hear from the staff on this issue?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, members of the commission. This is a notice of public hearing. We had anticipated having the housing element before you for recommendation to the city council. Part of the procedure for the housing element review is, of course, the state Department of Housing and Community Development gets involved, and actually they're really the main agency that influences what you have in your housing element. They did provide comments during the public review period, which lasted about 60 days. There were quite extensive comments, about 6 pages, I recall, of comments, or 9 pages, I should say. And the consultants are still responding to those comments. They thought they would have them ready by tonight's meeting, but they really haven't. So they're requesting a continuance to the next available meeting, which will be the 23rd. Because it is a notice of public hearing, we recommend that you open the public hearing and allow anybody in the public to provide any input on this matter, and then continue the hearing to the 23rd.
Okay, thank you. Okay, are there any members of the public who would like to speak on the issue at hand?
Chair, if you can go ahead and open the public hearing.
Okay, we would like to open the public hearing. Are there any members of the public who would like to speak on the issue at hand, the city housing element general plan? There are none? Okay. Are there any other, being that there are no other items on our agenda tonight, do I hear a motion that we
close the public hearing, please? And ask for any opposition.
Thank you, sir. With that, I'd like to close the public hearing.
You keep it open, and then you just continue the public hearing.
You keep it open, and then we continue the public hearing.
Yeah, you just remain open, and the motion is to continue the public hearing.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to?
I make a motion to continue the public hearing.
Motion has been made to continue the public hearing. Do I hear a second? We have a motion and a second to continue the public hearing. Ms. Council, is that to our next meeting on the 23rd?
That's what staff is recommending.
Okay. It is moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Are there any other items on our that we need to discuss this evening?
Yes, Mr. Chair, the next item is basically an informational item.
Okay.
I wanted to do 2 things. One is to be able to present the commission with a copy of the rules and procedures for the planning commission. I know maybe, I don't know, some of the commission members are going to be replaced, but I wanted to make sure that you got a copy of it. Another thing I wanted to do is, over the past couple of weeks, I've been getting requests, written and verbally, to bring items to the planning commission for consideration. And wanted to make sure the commission understands that, well, first of all, there's no procedure for that, and I wanted to see if the commission would be of the persuasion to create such a policy so
in tune with what is going to be brought before you. What I'd like to do is if it's the wish of the commission for us to look at something, research it, and spend a great deal of time, which is what I always try to do to bring items before you, is that at least I get consensus to the commission, because we do spend a great deal of time analyzing items and writing reports. And if one issue is of importance to one commissioner, I think for us to be able to spend the resources, time, I'd like to be able to have the majority of the commission approval to be able to do that. I was hoping that would generate a little bit of discussion to see if you will be interested in putting that into some kind of a policy or even into the procedures. So with that, that is basically the item. Before I conclude, there was one item. There was the item that kind of prompted this issue was the issue of bringing the titular bodies study before the commission, and also the idea of getting the commission more information on impact fees, development impact fees, CFDs, and what have you. I know it's a lot of information to put together, so what I'd like to do is be able to ask the commission to at least come to a consensus. If the majority of the commission to wish to hear that, then we can go back and certainly put together some really extensive analysis for you.
Okay. Commissioner Selwick.
I can't tell you how disappointed I am, because you have 5 members of the Planning Commission. 2 weeks ago, I contacted you by email and asked for information, general information, which would benefit the entire Planning Commission. For those on the Planning Commission that aren't aware of the questions I asked Mr. Villa to present to us, they're actually very, very simple and very, very essential for us to carry out our work. Taking into consideration that most of us are new here, and the information I asked was going to help us make these decisions. I think I asked about 3 or 4 questions. One was for the planning director to bring us the recommended increases to the annexation fees that were presented to City Council in 206. Frankly, I feel if I get an opportunity to look at the records, I would just look through the minutes of 206 and pull out that document and make a couple copies for us and send it to us. This is particularly important because an issue facing the city it is a very serious issue is the elimination of annexation fees. Everyone is aware that somehow or other there are going to have to be monies from an additional source to to replace the monies that we might lose from annexation fees. I spoke to the mayor of El Centro, and it was his opinion to do a consultation with legal advice that the elimination of annexation fees was a very, very valid point, and El Centro eliminated their annexation fees, but at the same time they increased their impact fees, and that is how El Centro overpaid that particular problem. And I thought that was vital for us to know.